In 1877, an astronomer saw the impossible, a network of lines crisscrossing Mars. 2 decades later, many believed those lines were canals. Mars was widely thought to be older than Earth, and scientists had concluded that planets dried out as they aged. It seemed as though an alien civilization had built the canals to siphon the last remaining water of Mars from its ice caps to fields where crops could still be grown. Mars appeared to have been remade, transformed into a machine that served a single species, the Martians. But the machine was dying. And when it was dead, the Martians would be too. It seemed like a vision of humanity's future, and it inspired some of the first ideas about the Anthropocene, the dawning epoch of human domination of the Earth, the epoch we may live in today. Of course, we now know Mars doesn't have canals, but even as improving telescopes, then spacecraft, revealed Mars for what it really is, Earth became a world like the canal-covered Mars astronomers once thought they could see. A world remade for a single species. Almost 40% of the land on this planet is now used for pasture or cropland, or in other words, for agriculture. That's 50 million square kilometers, almost 1.5 times the surface area of the entire moon. The weight of the world's harvest every year is about 10 billion tons. That's roughly the same as the weight of every animal on land put together, from earthworms to elephants. Agriculture is the foundation of modern civilization. It's the way in which we've rebuilt our world. So, what took so long? Why did it take us nearly 300,000 years to grow crops, to tame animals, to settle in towns and cities, to create governments? Maybe it was usually better to be a nomadic hunter-gatherer than a farmer who stayed in one place. But that can't be why it took so long for humans to experiment with growing their own food or taming animals. After all, it's hard to reject something until you've tried it. And farming, like hunting or gathering, took many forms, some harder than others. Maybe we didn't have the intellectual tools for farming until the cognitive and cultural transformations that remade our species before we poured out of Africa about 60,000 years ago. But if that's the case, the mystery remains. After many of our ancestors left Africa, it still took them tens of thousands of years to grow food and domesticate animals. Again, what took them so long? Well, maybe, just maybe, the timeline of human history doesn't have all that much to do with humans at all. Maybe everything depended on climate change. Maybe we're a little like those canal-building Martians who never existed. It seemed that they'd remade their planet when the drying climate forced them to. Maybe we learned how to do it when waves of cooling and drying made it necessary. Or when a warmer and wetter climate made it possible.